curious what your relationship is with Leonard Hamilton through
Yeah.
the years. This is his final couple games coaching.
Yeah.
You're surprised when he decided to step down and facing him tomorrow.
Well, I'm not surprised at the changes that head coaches have made during this time. Coach Hamilton is just one more historic figure in college basketball that has decided that his time is done doing this, and he's seeking to enjoy the next phase of his life. Coach Hamilton has meant so much to this game, he's to this conference. For me personally, I stand on the shoulders of great coaches, and he is definitely one of them. But more importantly, I stand on the shoulders of great men that have trailblazed for individuals like myself to have an opportunity to stand on this stage and to do something that we genuinely enjoy doing.
It looks like they have struggled defensively the last 3 games. They've given up, I think, at least 89 points in the last 3 games, all losses. Have you taken a look at them and where you think, you can have success against them? What you'll try to maybe do to score on them?
Well, I would say this team is very long. They are athletic. They protect the rim well. They have played some of the top teams in the conference. Of course, as you play the upper tier of the ACC, those are very challenging games. So, it's a very capable team of being excellent defensively if they are connected and wired right. Our hopes are that we can take advantage of some of their pressing and get some easier baskets in transition if we can, but also try to manipulate some switching situations that we can, take advantage of as well, particularly with Day-Day Ames and maybe Andrew Rhodey on the perimeter and Elijah Saunders and Jacob Kofi in the interior.
Nice. When do you address with your team, or maybe you already have, maybe you won't, about the seeding in the ACC tournament? You, it looks like, still could be at the 9 seed for the tournament and not have to play on that first Tuesday. That'd be obviously what you'd like to do. Do you address that with the team, and at what point do you talk to them about it?
We've actually been talking about that for a couple of weeks. Our goal at the beginning was to make sure that we were in the tournament. So that was a goal that we wanted to accomplish. So we were journeying towards that. Now, as we journey well towards the end of the season, our goal will be to try to be in that second line where we're not playing on the first day of the tournament. We have 2 games left. Now we have to play well against 2 teams that are athletic and long and hungry as well. So the hope will be that after tomorrow on Tuesday and Saturday, that we are playing, in the second day of the tournament.
Last week you talked about finishing the race strong. How do you want to finish here? 2 games left.
Yeah, I think Saturday was part of that journey. I think the way that we defended in the first half, and maybe not perfect in the second half, but still holding a team that's ranked 13th in the country, making them earn a victory here and not giving it away, I think was a step forward for us. So we're going to continue to journey that way. We will hope that we can bottle up the first half that we had on Saturday defensively and take that on the road, as we travel, and take that down towards the end of the season.
You kind of talked about it a little bit there, but just having the chance to look over the film from Saturday, what were some of the areas that concerned you the most that you want to make sure you kind of focus on these next few days before tomorrow and Syracuse?
I think the biggest part is our interior defense. We have to continue to work on making sure that the post players are playing through us, that we're not gambling or reaching and giving them uncontested plays at the rim. We have to continue to work on our post doubles whenever we are being hurt on the inside, and that we can recover well from there. We also got to try to keep the ball out of the paint, from the perimeter. So I think those 2 factors, very specific, are the things that we're going to address here as we prepare for our last 2 games of the year.
And you talked about in the post-game press conference how kind of just having inexperience there in the front court with the younger guys. Mm-hmm. But how can also that help them develop in these future games and with postseason coming up and everything, having that experience so early on? How can that just help them throughout the rest of the season?
Well, every experience allows you to grow, and I have a growth mindset. Every time you fail, it's an opportunity for you to learn something and for you to improve. So, our interior play was not, what we wanted it to be. Those were obviously 2 very experienced, older guys going up against younger players. And I do believe that because of that experience on Saturday, our interior young players will be better the next time out.
What do you want to see from those interior players? Because you talked about Florida State being a long, strong inside. What do you want to see from improved play with your inside guys?
A lot of that just comes to being more continuous. Sometimes it takes a 4th and 5th effort to get it done, not just 1 and 2. And as young players, sometimes they think the job is done, and then experienced players, they're very continuous. So we have to match that level of, commitment to getting the job done. It might not happen on the first try, second try, and I'm talking about in the same possession. So we have to continue to do that, and they grow and they learn, and we get better.
Clemson was that last game of that tough, 4-game stretch.
Mm-hmm.
What were some of the things that you guys learned throughout playing that really tough competition?
Yeah, I mean, when you want to test yourself against the best. When you test yourself against the best, it's when you really understand and you grow and you learn. Having to go to Wake Forest and win that game, that showed a testament of our character, some of the things that we did well. Playing against Duke here, we didn't play our best game, but we learned from that as well. The first 4 minutes against Carolina taught us something as well, and we were able to apply that when we played at Wake Forest, and then we applied some things that we learned at Wake versus Clemson at home, and we had a really good first half because of that. So for us, it's just continuing to grow and learn. These guys came to the ACC to play against that level of competition. So for us, it's exciting. For me as a coach, it's all about growth and journeying well, learning, growing. So for us, there was these last 2 weeks were definitely a huge opportunity to grow and learn, and I do think that we learned a lot.
Final thing I have, do you know whether Tane's parents are sticking around for this game tomorrow night, Tuesday, whether they stay? I saw him at senior day,
yeah.
and whether you've talked to Tane about maybe trying to go out on a high note, because he didn't have the best game probably he would have liked to on Saturday.
I do not try to put performance pressure or expectations on any of our athletes for any game, or for us it's just give us your best. I know numerically Tane didn't have a lot of points, but he played hard, and he played committed to this team. So that's all that we can ask. Tane's parents are going to be around for tomorrow night's game. We celebrated Tane on Saturday because we wanted to make sure they were able to get here on a weekend. And so it was more of our contribution to him and to his experience and to his parents. And I'm hoping that he can play well tomorrow.